Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Struggles of Lilly. So, on this episode of Let's Talk About It, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about accountability. So, even with myself, I took a week off. I tried to record this very episode, about 6 different times last week, and it just was not working. I had to clear out my phone, make some room, whatever. It just was not working with the YouTube upload, and obviously I upload from my phone. So, what are we talking about? I feel as if we've been on a very positive path so far. So, we talked about positive body imaging. We talked about healthy relationships. We've talked about, rebuilding ourselves and putting ourselves back in sync, boundaries, the 3 C's, making a choice to take a chance in order to change, and moving forward. So, in moving forward, I want to say, about 2 weeks ago, I looked really, really tired, really, really drained. I really wasn't in the mood to even record the Struggles of Lilly the way I did. But I've got some spunk back. I guess that was just spirit, God, whatever, you believe in. I sync with the universe. To just tell me to sit down. Spirit God just told me, you know what? You're doing too much. You're tired. Take a break. We're going to block all channels, all energy, because you just need to take a break. And that's what I did, and it worked for me. So whatever works for you is good. If you sometimes just feel too overwhelmed and that you need a break, go ahead and do it. It is nothing wrong with that. I believe taking a break for your mental health is important. And I also found it interesting last week that I was in the car taking Corey to her speech therapy. And on the radio, Oregon just passed a law that will allow students from the age of 5 to 18 to take 5 mental health days in their school year. We didn't have mental health days, but the radio host was basically saying oh, they just need to suck it up, whatever. But I think it's important. I think the same concept applies. Just like us adults take days off from work, or we have days where we just need a break and we can't do it. Why do we feel like children can't either? Y'all want to know why it's the opioid epidemic? You want to know why all these kids are smoking and drinking to feel good about themselves because they don't? All these young children, suicide rates, whatever, they might be onto something. Moving into this week's topic, accountability. I'm in a place of releasing. The new moon just came. All this beautiful bliss energy is so pretty and sunny outside. The weather is about to be my favorite time of the year. I always like spring and fall because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Spring brings too many showers for me, but fall is it's like a breath of fresh air. Obviously, you hear my nug bug in the back. She is watching her favorite cartoon ever, Tom and Jerry. Real old school parent in this house. And we're just going to be moving forward. Go sit down, mama. So, accountability. When you want some water, please? Okay, come here. When you are dealing with accountability, something to keep in mind with you and with other people is what I call the minor major effect. Meaning, just because something is major to me and minor to you doesn't mean it's not important. And vice versa for myself. You might be coming to me and you might be telling me something that I just feel like, dog, you tripping. Why is this bothering you so bad? But in the same token, I respect the fact that what's minor to me might be major to you, and that's just what it is. Something that I try to teach Corey, even with her decisions, her actions, whatever, take it and go sit down, is accountability breeds responsibility. So when her toys are all over the room and it's time to clean up, when she's throwing the 3-year-old fits and she's trying to express herself but she's not able to really communicate, Corey can echo. And if she really wants something, she'll talk to you. But other than that, she'll echo you to death. She gets frustrated. And so it frustrates me a little bit because she's trying to express herself, but she can't. Here. Go sit down. Go sit down. She's trying to express herself, but she really can't. And so we're finding different cues. Like, we'll do sign language. Her speech therapist has really come with some creative ideas. She's a visual learner, so I do visuals. Whereas like I want, or well, you take two hands like this and you do more please or other things like that. She could tell you I'm hungry or water please or I want water please or whatever. She could even really talk when she wants to. This is the thing about her that jingles my spirit. Corey can sing along to anything. She can tell you her ABC. She can count to 30. Her shapes, her colors, all of that. It's all gone. All done. All done. Go sit down. She can do all of that. But when it comes to holding a conversation, or if you ask Corey, what is your name? And she'll say, what is your name? Those are things that we're trying to shift her and being different with. So cleanups, timeouts, redirecting energy, holding her accountable for herself, because in life you can't just allow everything to frustrate you. And I get it, she's just 3, but what you do when they're young progresses when they're old. So that applies to us as well. What we do and what we don't do is on us. You see a lot of memes now talking about trauma. Everybody wants to talk about trauma, which everybody might really have their own forms of trauma. I'm not taking things away from people. I just don't like to see conversations turn into trends. So, yes, your childhood or your circumstances or your life up to this point might have been results of other people and things that have placed you in the way that you were. But just like in the last episode, I was going to say last week, but I didn't do my my video last week. Just like in the last episode, trying to be who you are or who you were before the trauma isn't going to happen, because that person no longer exists. Also, holding on to the baggage of the past isn't going to help you move forward, because bruh, we can blame people all day, but I'll give you until you're about 21 or 25 to take accountability for yourself, because who are you really upset with? Sometimes in life we want that closure, or sometimes we want the justice for the situation. But you gotta ask yourself, am I wanting justice or am I wanting vengeance? Why am I going so hard for this specific thing? Because that plays a role in it too. If you're still hurt, if you're still down about it, if you're still got your undies in a knot, etc., like, you need to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to hold people accountable for what they did to you, but then you have to take ownership in your part in it too, because you're still allowing whatever that circumstance was to have power over you. You're still allowing whatever that situation was to still hold that weight over you, and you're using it as a tool to yourself. For example, even with me, I grew up, my parents never treated me different. I never felt disabled, whatever. I didn't feel disabled until I got pregnant with Corey. I gained 100 pounds with Corey. My legs swole to the point I couldn't even walk. I had to drag it when I was going places. I had to use a wheelchair when I was going places because I couldn't walk anymore. It was a really mentally crushing time for me, because for the first time in my life, I felt disabled and I had to solely depend on somebody, and that bothered the hell out of me. I had to depend on her dad for everything. I couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't get myself in and out the bed. I couldn't get myself up and off the couch. I couldn't get myself in and out the car. I couldn't even drive because my leg wouldn't fit behind the wheel. I had to sit in the car sideways just to fit my leg in it and then sit my right leg on top of it. It was just really a really hard time for me, and it almost broke me mentally, because I was just like, how am I gonna recover from this? How am I gonna get better from this? Sit down, please, mama. Go sit down. All done. Good job. Go sit down. How am I gonna recover from this? How? Because I don't know, and put it down. It really just almost almost just, I don't know. And that's the truth. I don't know. So I had to, in a lot of ways, rebuild from scratch. I had to go back to physical therapy. I had to, even when I had her in the hospital, they gave me something called Lasix. It's a diuretic. The Lasix by itself, from all the water retention I gained, took off 74 pounds within the 3 days that I was there. I had her on a Tuesday. I left on a Friday, and I lost 74 pounds just from the water. I went from a medium to a 4X with Corey. I was huge. Okay. And it wasn't because of what I was eating. It was because of the water retention from the birth. So imagine that, like, I'm 100 pounds heavier and pregnant and I can't even get around. A whole ass mess. So they took off 74 pounds of fluid when I was in the hospital. And then the following year I went to physical therapy and they took off about 3 liters of fluid also. And then now I wear a compression garment and I'm on a different type of diuretic because Lasix causes my potassium to drop, which causes my body to go into shock. And that was a whole ordeal last year too. Anyway, so I took accountability for my own actions. I was either going to sit there and dwell in the self-pity of the fact that I am now this disabled woman, or I was going to get my ass up and do something because my child's only going to get bigger. Hell, she's 3 now. She runs around. We go to the park. I'm able to, like, stand up. I couldn't even stand up for 10 minutes, y'all. I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even walk around Publix off Deshaun over here without getting tired. I couldn't even walk from the parking lot to the store without getting tired. So I literally had to spend a year rebuilding myself, making myself walk, making myself get out of bed, making myself walk up and down the steps in my home because I knew I couldn't walk around the neighborhood yet, but I could at least start with the steps. And then I went from a 4X to where I'm now a large, extra large. So I dropped all of that weight between 2017 and now, but I still want to get back to the medium where I was. So that's the next goal. That's the next goal. So that tells you who I am. That tells you how I took accountability for my actions. And so what you do or what you don't do will tell me everything I need to know about you. Life is hard. It is unfair. It is not set for us to be successful. We don't get what we want. We don't get what we wish for. We get what we work for. That is the biggest misconception. People tell you, oh, you have a dream and you get your dream. Well, no, baby, you got to work for that dream. You got to put in them hours. You got to put in that time. You got to sacrifice some things. Life is for service and servitude of others. It is not just for ourselves. And everything we do leaves an impression. Everything we do leaves an impression, and you cannot be upset if a person's reflection of your mirror image is what it is. Because I'm sure to somebody I'm cool as hell, I'm sure to somebody I'm mean as hell, whatever, but that's what it is. That is my impression on them. It's nothing else I can do about it. It's not my job to change it. Everybody doesn't have to receive me the same way. Because I don't receive everybody the same way. Somebody could be like, oh, such and such is my best friend. And I'm like, good for you. I don't really too much fool with them, but good for you. That's just what it is. So something I'm trying to work on is something that I want you all to work on is to not resent the lives that you created for yourself, right? We all had hands in where we are today. Something that I was thinking about, and this is something I didn't really post nowhere or didn't really do, is my life is the way it is based off the choices I made up to this point. Your life is the way it is based off the choices you made up to this point. You can blame whoever it is that you want to blame for your misfortune, for your loneliness, for your downfalls, for whatever the hell you have going on. But you had your own hand in it based off the choices you made. And that's how I feel. I made choices growing up that caused me to be in a dynamic where I'm where I'm at today. And I'm not really in a bad place. Your girl just graduated from college. I just did that. I'm off to the next thing. I'm working on this project. I just finished phase 1 of it. Now I'm on phase 2. And then hopefully by the end of this year, beginning of the next phase 3 is done as well. But I had a hand in the things that I'm dealing with in my personal life today. I can't blame nobody else for it. I made the choice. I made the choice. And I'm dealing with it, with all the consequences of it, good or bad, right or wrong. So, I say that to say to you as well. Think of what your hand was in your decisions that got you to this point. And think about, if you don't like it, how are you going to change it? Because only you can get you where you want to go. Yes, we can have faith. Yes, we can pray, manifest, whatever you want to call it. But baby, only you can get you where you want to go. You can have support, by all means. But if you don't have the drive, you don't have the patience, you don't have the ordeal to do it, it's not going to get done. Stuff doesn't magically fall in our lap. Like I say, we don't get what we wish for, we get what we work for. And so only you can have it, and you can't blame anybody else. And you can get defensive, you can block it off, you can be like, oh, I wasn't trying to offend you, while you really don't want to offended. But again, you're just getting in your own way. You're just getting in your own way. Don't block yourself based off of what you feel or don't feel in the moment. Don't block yourself. Don't block your blessings, whatever. Don't keep yourself in a cage. Just move forward. Just move forward, because to be what we are and to become what we're capable of is the only way to go. Only we can do it. And that can be the ending of our life. You know, something that I say to my brother or Corey's dad or people in my life is, this is just a chapter. Some of us are only in our 20s, because I know a plethora. No, I don't. My friends aren't over 30 and they're not under 21. So regardless, you're in your 20s. What is your 20s compared to your 80s or 90s? That's a whole nother 60 years from now. This is not going to be your life for the next 60 years. And if it is, baby, you only got yourself to blame for it. This is a lesson. This is blessings in disguise. These are choices to be made. These are decisions to help you move forward. It is just a chapter. It is just a chapter. So a new acronym that I want to say to y'all is to try to change it for yourself. And try to pour a different outcome. So pour. Pour means Pour. Provide, offer, uplift, and rebuild. Provide yourself with some olive branches. Reach out and use your resources, network, support, whatever. Blood doesn't necessarily make you family. It doesn't necessarily make you your family. Offer yourself some solutions and take the help when it comes, because help comes in all ways, shapes, and forms. And it is okay to lean on somebody for once instead of always being a strong friend. Uplift yourself. It is not sitting in misery. You are your own company. I hate the expression misery loves company. No, you your own company in that, because I don't live in that place and I can't help you in that place. So get yourself up out of it. I'm going to need you to get it together. I'm going to need you to get it together. Like I said in the last video, if all you can do that day is crawl, baby, you better get to crawling. You better do something. Uplift yourself and rebuild. Rebuild, restructure. Restructure. Rock bottom is just the foundation from a new start. You at the concrete on the baseline of the house. You at the very bottom. You got your wood sticking up, whatever, but you at the bottom. That is your foundation to start over. Rebuild yourself and decide what it is that you really want in your life, and then say no to everything else that is not it. It's easier said than done. Yes. It's going to be hard. It's going to be trials. It's going to be tribulations. Everything is not going to be easy. But if you continue to say no to all the things that do not serve you, 6 months from now, you could be in a different position. A year from now, you'll be in a different position from that. A year and a half, a different position from that. 2 years, a different position from that. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep trucking. Keep setting those healthy boundaries for yourself. And don't let people sit here and be like, oh, well, if you keep dismissing things that don't serve you, you're going to be by yourself. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to be around those who do serve you, and those who don't were here for their season and they went on about their business. And that's okay, because everybody is not meant to go where you're going. Some people are just supposed to travel up to this part of your life, and then the road splits. They made it up to in between my fingers. But now you're supposed to go this way and they supposed to go that way. Even the three of y'all split. And y'all supposed to go in your own direction, because it's your own life. It's your own life path. It's not meant to be the same as somebody else's. It's going to have similarities. It's going to have good times. Y'all roads might come back together and merge at one point in time before separating again. That is okay. But you have to walk your journey of life. And you can't keep holding yourself back. And if you do hold yourself back, take ownership for that, because accountability breeds responsibility. Be responsible for your own actions and stop blaming other people because you made the choice to wait, or you made the choice not to move forward, or to not take that leap of faith into whatever you had going on. That was your choice. That was your choice, boo. That was your choice. So before I get to like really rambling, this has been my episode, The Struggles of Lilly. Let's talk about it. This week was on accountability. I again apologize, y'all. If y'all really could see me, I have tried recording this thing really like 6 or 7 times. And then I got fed up. And I was like, I'm just going to wait till Sunday. And I like cleared out my phone. There's like nothing in it now, so that I was able to do this. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. I love the responses. They help me kind of figure out where I'm going next. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video.